What's up, guys? Welcome back. Here we go. Happy Sunday, 10:04 a.m. Quick little story, man. As you guys know, I'm out of topics for videos. So basically, I just sit down, make the time, and hit record whenever a little thought comes to my head. I just finished watching a video from the channel, That Prison Guard, and the guy's name is Hector. He's a former LT lieutenant from the California Department of Corrections, and his most recent video triggered this memory, right? So shout out Hector, man. He is coming up to 13 years of sobriety. That's huge. Shout out to you, Mr. Bravo. Yeah, here we go, man. So I mentioned in the past, I was in prison. I only hit level 2, level 2, and that's the security level, right? Level 2. And the higher you go, the more, I guess, dangerous it is. And it's a higher security like prison yard, right? Anyway, so yeah, I was on the level 2, and this story takes place about when I was on the prison yard. And this is basically for, I guess, my Deftones fans out there. So nothing crazy. This ain't a crazy story, but anyway, yeah. So sometime throughout my stay, once I hit the yard, right, as you know, out here in the West, Southwest, it's very political. Doesn't matter what yard you're at, doesn't matter what jail you're at, that's just how it is. And everybody is segregated by race out here. And the main reason for that is accountability, right? To make sure there's no bullying, extortion, stuff like that, right? I'm sure things like that happen, but it's not tolerated. So anyway, so yeah, so I hit the yard one day. I was working out. I don't remember, it was maybe like on a weekend, like one of my first weekends there. And even the prison yards, it's pretty much segregated by race, right? So you get one group of inmates here, the Mexicans are working out, the whites are working out, etc., right? The blacks, the natives, everyone has like their own little spot on the yard. So one day I just finished working out. I was walking some laps, right? Sorry about that. I forgot to turn my notifications off. Anyway, so one day I was working out, right? I just started doing some laps around the yard. And, when you're on the yard, you're people watching, you're alert, just in case something pops off. You know what I mean? You always have to be on your toes. You always got to be aware, listening, and just people watching, right? If you've never been a people watcher, you will become a good people watcher after doing some time. And you're going to be able to pick up on vibes and all that, right? So anyway, I was walking around, just observing, and I see a group of inmates, a group of white guys, right? And this particular group, they were AB. That's all I'm going to say. And so one of the guys, everyone is fit, everyone is confident for the most part. The people that do work out, right? They're fit, they're confident, just not a care in the world, right? But they were like in a portion of an area of the yard, and I see one of them. He has a Deftones tattoo on him, a huge one. I'm not going to say which one, but he had a particular tattoo, and I spotted it immediately, right? Deftones is my favorite band. If I guess the story's for Deftones fans. Anyway, yeah, Deftones is my favorite band. My favorite song is Digital Bath, and Digital Bath is off their third album called The White Pony. So I spotted this tattoo from a distance, and it was a big tattoo. And I just wanted to walk right up to dude and just talk, right? Just chop it up and just acknowledge, just chop it up about Deftones, right? In any other environment, I probably could have done that. It would have been welcomed, right? But on a prison yard, that is not the best idea, right? I'm Mexican. If I were to walk up to, any group, doesn't matter who it is, if I were to walk up to any group just hyped up, like, yo, what's up, dude? That's looked at as a threat, right? And you're not supposed to do that, right? It could have been all bad for me. Anyway, so I see dude throughout my stay, right? A few times, whatever. And one of the guys from that group, he was on my work crew. Monday through Friday, we took a bus from Douglas, Arizona to Sierra Vista. It's maybe no more than an hour, maybe 45 minutes to an hour. Beautiful ride, right? We'd meet in the Sally Port 7 a.m., take a big white prison bus with like bars, whatever, right, on the windows, and we just ride, man. It's a very like mountainous terrain area. The weather's usually cooler out there, and we pass through like mountains and canyons and stuff, and it's a beautiful, beautiful ride. So it's like a nice chance to just decompress, close your eyes. The bus windows, they're down, so you got air in your face. And that was probably one of my most favorite things about being locked up, is just that ride, a chance to leave the actual prison yard and go to just go to work for the day. And then after the day we'd come back. But back to the story, one of the guys that were part of this particular racial group, right, was on my work crew. So him and I were cool, totally cool. He wasn't from Tucson, he was from a different city. So once you're on these work crews, like the politics and all that, they stay on the yard. So once we got off the bus and we started working and all that, I should probably do a video on what job I did while I was in prison. Anyway, so yeah, like I was saying, all the politics, all that, right? All that negativity, that energy stays on the yard. Once we're away from the prison yard, then we could chop it up. We could eat, talk to each other during lunch, just whatever, right? And just like we were free, to kick back with your boys. Anyway, so I talked to him, and I tell him, I'm like, dude, who's this guy with the Deftones tattoo? He knew he knew who I was talking about. He's a Deftones fan too. And so anyway, yeah, we talked about that. I let him know how much I love Deftones, all that stuff. They got me through so much, multiple breakups, any type of mood that I'm in, right? There's no mood that a Deftones song can't fix. That's true. That's just how it is for me. It's very emotional music. And the vocalist, Chino, he's a very special guy. There's no singer out there like him. There's a few bands out there that kind of have like a Deftones twist, but they can't touch Deftones at all. Anyway, so I was talking to the dude that was on my work crew, and I told my boy that I had some CDs and all that, right? Some Deftones CDs. And so as time went on, he spoke to the other guy with the Deftones tattooed, and eventually we started swapping CDs through this guy, through the guy that was on my work crew. And it wasn't anything bad, as far as like political wise, nothing like that. Like, we weren't eating together like in the chow hall, nothing like that, right? It was just a simple, innocent thing. I feel good, I feel okay talking about this. This is nothing crazy, nothing that I should be concerned about, nothing like that. I'm not giving up any game, blah blah blah, any major game, right? So anyway, fast forward some time, we we swapped CDs, and we just take the music in. We're not listening to the music together because we're like in different areas, but But that was really cool, man, just to see another Deftones fan. I don't care where I am. Like, I just want to meet them. You know, I made a short the other day. When I made a short, I was headed to my storage one day, right? Or one morning, a couple days ago. And before I backed up, there was a guy on a motorcycle. He just stopped and he was waiting for the gate to open, right? And I saw he had a Deftones sticker on him, on his helmet. And I got out the car, out of my Xterra, and, you know, I just walked up to him and shook his hand and all that and gave him props, man. Like, there's nothing like meeting a Deftones fan because we get it. We understand each other, right? Like, we're just on the same page. It's like, I could imagine, it's like someone that was in the military, right? They're able to spot and recognize somebody else that was in the military. And they just have that kind of like bond and something that they could fully relate to, you know, with one another. And so it's really cool, man. Like, there's nothing like a good Deftones show. You know, like I said, they got me through some breakups and all that stuff, man. Like, especially during this one time, like 2006, when my good friends died. And on the day we buried him, you know, I was kind of having issues with my girl at the time because, like, I was drinking a lot since the day he passed, like the whole entire week, up until the day we laid him down to rest. So after that funeral, I went to a driving range with my best friend at the time. We were hitting some balls. Anyway, my girl at the time, she calls me, right? And she said after the driving range, we meet at a certain spot so we could talk. And ultimately, she breaks up with me. So Deftones was around. You know, Deftones was a huge part of various times in my life when I was doing bad and still up until today when I'm doing great, right? If you missed the video, this painting here, it's a painting that I did. It was a big canvas. I painted that in rehab, if you guys don't know. It's in the majority of the videos. I'm not one for decorating my entire wall, right? You wouldn't want me decorating. Like, I'm not good at that stuff. I am cool. I'm content with this right here, because anyone who watches these videos, you know, they know, they know, right? They know what I'm about. So just wanted to put that little video out there, man, of how I ran into a Deftones fan. I'm gonna say one of the biggest, because not everybody gets a tattoo of their favorite band, right? I've thought about it multiple times. I've always been fascinated with neck tattoos. I'd probably look like a tool with one, but I love the way they look. Random thought. But yeah, I'm gonna say he was one of their biggest fans because he had a huge tattoo on a certain part of his body. And so that's the story for the day, guys. Nothing too crazy, but it's for the Deftones fan. It's for my Deftones fans out there. And if it's funny, Deftones fans, like, they're very particular of the way people say Deftones fans. It's not the Deftones, even though it sometimes comes out when you're describing like a band, right? It's not the Deftones, it's Deftones, right? It's not the Incubus, it's just Incubus, right? But the way Deftones is spelt, it's very easy to say the Deftones. That's funny. You know, so many people are particular about that. But yeah, just wanted to throw it out there. Shout out Deftones. Shout out life. Life is good. Got to get to work. Just finished eating. And it's going to be a chill day. But yeah, like I said, shout out Hector from That Prison Guard YouTube channel for inspiring this video. If you haven't checked out his latest video, I suggest you do that. So I will pin his channel somewhere. So yeah, probably in the description. And yeah, check it out, guys. Check it out. If you want to hear a perspective from a former lieutenant in the California Department of Corrections, right? There's a lot of prison channels out here from former inmates, but here, you know, you get to hear a perspective from the guys in green, right? The COs out in Cali, they wore green. The inmates in Cali, they wore blue. So instead of hearing the blues perspective, go check out how, you know, basically the whole day-to-day operations is from. There's so much different content. He uploads every day, and his work ethic is unmatched. And so yeah, it's a great channel. Like I said, I will put it out for you guys to go check it out. He covers so many different topics. You know, he's huge into fitness, and you know, I've said it before, he's the main reason why I started working out again. My big ass head. Thanks for listening.